Okay guys, so it's the end of another week, and I'm here to make another prediction on GBPUSD and EURUSD. And like the last one went super fantastic, I'm hoping, or I believe this one is also going to go great. So I'm going to start, give a short recap of what we, discussed in my previous video where I called the long on EU, or should I? It's GU, yeah, GU. And as you can see, the last week was good. So I started by saying that price had traded into this bullish order block. Sorry about this. Sorry, let me get it right. Yeah, traded into this bullish order block, swept liquidity below this candle. By then we hadn't had this huge candle forming, right? It wasn't like this. So we went into the weekly, right? Then we saw the formation of this low, the already existing high. Price had traded into this fair value gap, bullish fair value, after disrespecting this bearish fair value gap. And so we marked our dealing range from this high to the low. Yeah, from this high to the low. Then we saw that we had traded above the 25%. Yeah, exactly. Then I was calling for higher prices on GU. So let me take this off the rectangle, and then we move into the daily where the prediction was made. So on the daily, what we saw was that I said I saw this low, high, lower low, and then higher high. We were here at that moment when the call was made, right? And so I said I saw this as a bullish breaker, right? I saw this as a bullish breaker. Yeah. Then I also saw this inverse fair value gap. This inverse fair value gap right here, right? Because we disrespected it to the upside, it was supposed to be a bearish fair value gap, right? So when we got there, we saw that we disrespected it. Instead of being a resistance, it became support, pushed price up, helped us break above this high, giving us this breaker. We had this 1, 2, 3, 4, giving us the bullish order block, right? So we had it from the high here, and then I said we had this bullish fair value gap also right here where I wanted price to trade into. Ideally, unfortunately we didn't get that, but the idea still held, and then we moved up, saw higher prices, right? Okay, so taking that out of the way, I also said that we were going to target the liquidity above here, and I wanted us to target the liquidity above the 75 DRT level, go into this fair value gap, and possibly this fair value gap as well, the bearish fair value gap, which is in extreme premium. Yeah, extreme premium, right? And so currently we can see that we have taken liquidity here, the liquidity that exists here at the 50% DRT level. We have displays above it, and we are currently seeing some form of sell pressure, but I do not see this as the beginning of the sell program. I only see that as a correctional move, a retracement into this fair value gap at the west, if I should say, or at the most here. So looking at this, we see this gap at the 50%, which is the the measuring gap, right? And we see that it overlaps with this daily bullish fair value gap. So this was supposed to act as resistance like this, but now it's been disrespected to the upside. We've left a bullish fair value gap here as well. So I want to see that price trade lower. I want to see price trade lower in here, hold firm, and then we start attacking the buy side liquidity. Here we move into this region and then hopefully take out, because the parent dealing range, which is on the monthly, has greater room, if I should put it that way, right? This is still below discount in the parent range, which is on the monthly dealing range, right? So as you can see right here, I want to see price here, and then we have currently formed relatively equal highs at this point exactly. So which just means that there is some form of liquidity here just below the 75 DRC level, and here where price would want to run and then clear that liquidity. That is why I'm still bullish on GU. Now let me move to EU, and then EU, where is EU? Here, right here. Good. So EU, this is the daily chart. Let's move to the monthly. Good. So on EU, on the monthly chart, this is where the whole thing started from, into this bullish fair value gap, right? We are into this bullish fair value gap, and the parent dealing range is from this high to this low. And then as you can see from here, the fair value gap, the bullish fair value gap, is exactly at the 25 DRT level, as you can see. So we tapped into that, then we moved away, and as you can see, we have disrespected this bearish fair value gap, monthly bearish fair value gap, and we are moving up. I anticipate that we move higher, clearing this high, this relatively equal high, this liquidity here. Then we run deeper into premium, right? But first we stay focused on what's closer to us. Good. And so on the weekly, what is evident is that inside of that monthly fair value gap, we run this low. Coming into it, we run this low right over here. Let me just make it a bit clearer. We run that low right here, just like that, giving us this low, and then this high, giving. So this becomes our weekly dealing range. So marking that out and going into the daily, that is where things become clear, very, very clear. Okay. So going into the daily, we saw some price movements up and down here, but at this place, price was very bullish for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, consecutive bullish candles, then retraces to the 25 dealing range. We had this order block right here, this order block right here. Then you see price trades into that, into this order block, price trades into that, and then from there we saw these explosive moves, right? Disrespecting the 50% gap, the measuring gap at the 50%, leaving this bullish fair value gap here, disrespecting this gap here as well. Okay, so let me just take this one off and then mark the gaps I'm talking about so that it becomes clearer to you. So this gap, we disrespected them, we disrespected this one, and then the 50% gap right here as well. Okay, it's a bit big, so let's reduce that. Great. And so I would have liked to see some support in this level, but as you can see, prices trading lower, right? Price is trading lower. So the worst I would like to see price trade is into this region and into this fair value gap. Sorry about that. Before we start moving upward, and then in the extreme premium we see this fair value gap right here, which is unmitigated at the moment, right? And so that is why I'm still bullish on EU and GU at the moment. I want to see higher prices go in there, and then we see what price does. Yeah, so let's just see what happens this week, and then next week, yeah, on EU and GU. So these are my major pairs on the pairs I'll be focusing on, EU and GU, for for next week majorly, although I might be looking at other pairs, but these are my major ones for next week. And so let's see how these ones go. So wish you all the best in the market, that is if you're in the market next week, and then watch out for another one. If you like how it's going, if you like the way I read price using daily range theory, please like the video, share, subscribe if you can, and then let's get the video to many more, and let's grow the channel. Okay, so till then, see you.